Welcome back to the Life and Stride podcast. This is episode 212. On this episode, we had Ethan Shuley on the podcast. Ethan's actually from Kentucky. He's from Northern Kentucky, just across the river from Cincinnati. And I remember him from high school. He was a couple years younger than me, but I ran against him in high school briefly. And he was a state champion here in Kentucky. Went to BYU for a year, ended up quitting the team and quitting running for a while. All of a sudden, fast forward to now, a friend of mine, Jacob Thompson, sent me a results link to the Kobe Marathon this year, about a month or two ago. In second place was Ethan Shuley from Northern Kentucky in 2 hours and 11 minutes. So I was like, haven't heard that name in a while. Really impressed by the time. He has had an unbelievable progression with marathoning. So had to get the full story on this podcast. I think he is going to be potentially a fixture in the 2028 Olympic trials if he keeps progressing the way he is. So really cool episode. I hope you enjoy hearing his story. If you do, please leave a review, drop a comment, share with a friend, and we'll catch you on episode 212. When we're running through Norton Commons or the Pewee Valley area in Louisville, Kentucky, it's pretty easy to spot Mason Construction Home. The attention to detail, the quality, the stunning design, you can't miss it. It stands out. We aren't just saying that either. Our own co-host Scotty trusted Mason Construction to build his forever home, and he and his family couldn't be happier. Don't tell Scotty this, but we're at his house a lot because we love the home. He's all right too, though. If you live in the Louisville or Southern Indiana area and are thinking about building your forever home or doing a remodel, there is nobody else to trust with this project than Mason Construction. The link to their website is in our show notes. Click on the request information option and start the conversation about what your forever home could look like.
That was good.
All right, episode 212 Life and Stride podcast. I know I always say it on the intro anyway, Scotty, before the episode starts, but I like doing it at the beginning too, I like
It's
consistency.
okay. Everybody get the second go round and then they know what episode it is. Never change, Striegel, never change.
Yeah. So it was funny. A couple episodes ago, we had a guy on that's running CIM and he's hoping to break 210 at CIM. And it was episode 209. And he was like, "Oh, it's a coincidence that that's the episode. It's the 209, but this is 212 for you. You just ran 211, so we should have had you on one before. We almost did, but we had some Thanksgiving stuff come up, so it's all good though. Here we are, episode 212. You're a sub 212 guy now, so that's good.
Official
But
now, yeah.
yeah, so we got Ethan Shuley on the pod. I ran. Me and Ethan probably crossed paths in high school. You ran at Highlands in Northern Kentucky, and you're from Fort
Yeah.
Thomas. Is that where Highlands is?
Yeah, Northern Kentucky, Fort Thomas is just 5 minutes or so from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah, and you got the Reds hat on. You're representing.
Representing Cincinnati.
Yeah, I went to
I
a
should have
Reds.
had a Bengals hat on. I'm more of a Bengals fan, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm also a Bengals and Reds fan. As someone that lives in Louisville, those are the closest pro teams. So
Yeah.
that, that's our best option.
Striegel, are you
But
actually a Reds and a Bengals fan? I've never heard you talk about it.
I don't like. I don't like really watch, but like
It's pretty hard
yeah,
because most seasons are rather depressing, but
yeah.
if you're a fan now, you're a loyal fan. You're not a bandwagon fan, so.
I did go to one Reds game this year, and I fell asleep in the sixth inning. So
Yeah, he's a real big fan. Big fan.
yeah. My dad was definitely disappointed in me for sure. He's a
Well, you
huge.
struggle with narcolepsy, so it doesn't really count.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I fall asleep wherever. Um, dude, Ethan. Okay, I want to get the timeline here. So I
Yeah.
remember your name from high school. You're a Kentucky state champion. It won the 3200 in cross country. What events did you win state in?
Yeah, so I won state in cross my junior and senior year, and then um I won track state in the 32 and the 16. The 32 was my sophomore year, and then the my junior year I won both the 16 and 32. My senior year I actually had injuries and I never ran track at all. So my last
Oh,
race in high school was state cross country. So
and then I guess for context for people listening, what were like your mile, like 1600, 5K, 2 mile PRs coming out of high school?
yeah, in high school, my PRs, I ran 156 in the 8 for just a 4x8 leg, I ran a 4:13 1600, and then a 9:07 32, I think. This
Nice.
is pre track like super spikes or whatever you want to call them. So
Yeah.
I feel like track fully
I love when people say that.
safe.
I love when people say that and just like mic drop.
And I think people need to know too, like at the time you graduated high school, those were like seriously like high level times in the country. And
Yeah.
now it's
Yeah.
like if you're a sub 9 guy, like if you run like 855 and 3200, like you're probably walking on at like one of the Power 5 schools. You're probably not even getting a scholarship now. So times have changed a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely changed a lot, I feel like, in the last 10 years. So
Yeah, super shoes, people figuring out more high school coaches know how to train, stuff like that.
How recent are super shoes? I should know this, but I'm only 4 years into running, so I mean, I've always had it.
I want to
I
say
feel like in
2019.
19, yeah, 19 is when they kind of started to
Really?
blow up a
That?
little bit.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah,
didn't realize it's only been that long.
Yeah, because it was like
yeah.
I graduated college in 18, and it was like right when I graduated college, like the first one started coming out, and I was like, so I like missed the window, which is a good and bad thing, I think. So, but
Yeah,
yeah, ew. I remember running 10Ks in college with like just like the OG like track spikes, like the Nike Victories, all that stuff, and it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
more soreness than running a marathon for sure.
Honestly,
It
I
was
mean,
like,
it's like barefoot running. So
yeah,
Jeez.
that's what they went for with the
yeah,
spikes at that time was like, let's just get these as light as
yeah,
possible, put spikes on the bottom of them.
yep,
So, um,
yeah.
so you went to BYU after high school, is that right?
Yeah, so I grew up Mormon, and that was kind of like an ideal school for me just because I kind of wanted to be in that community after college. Actually lived in Ukraine for 2 years,
Wow.
in Western Ukraine, just because that's where a lot of people in that church they go on like a mission trip,
Yeah.
and I was no different. I went on one, and they sent me to Ukraine. So I was there from 2016 18. And when I came back, I went to BYU. Um, I initially wasn't planning on, it's kind of funny. I wasn't planning on running, but apparently they saved the spot on the team when I got back. And I got a text on Instagram from Danny Carney, who was one of the varsity guys on the team. He's like, "Hey, are you coming to camp?" I'm like, "What are you talking about, camp?" But yeah, they apparently saved the spot for me on the team, and then from then on, I tried to run at BYU. So didn't really
Wow.
go well, but
Okay. So well, that's what I'm curious about because I know like people will talk about they go on their mission, they come back, and you can't run on your mission really, right? So, I mean,
yeah.
how well was it like getting back into the swing of things after 2 years of like pretty much no running?
Oh, it was terrible. Like I know a lot of people, like especially now, because I've kind of watched the NCAA recently. There's been like a lot of debate about like having an extra 2 years is like a benefit for a lot of these athletes. And I think
Sure.
it can maybe be like once you if you like survive the training once you get back. But like a lot of the thing that a lot of people don't mention is like a lot of people do not make it back after like coming back from the mission. Because I mean, going from doing absolutely nothing to like running 80 miles a week, it's pretty horrible on the body. And I was one of those who just never made it like back
Mm.
um after the mission. So like I trained a lot my freshman and sophomore year. But like I was never I just it was constant injury. So
Wow.
Do you
Yeah.
think there's a path there where you could have not been injured? Like the slow roll
yeah,
path or
yeah, I think like I've been talking to so recently I went back to the States and kind of talked to some of the other BYU guys now that are currently there. And a lot of them do like cross training. It's like a lot less load on the legs. And it's a good way to get back your cardio. I think if I would have implemented that alongside running and had like a actual like system in place for that, it could have helped a lot, and maybe I would have actually been able to experience running for BYU.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Th-
quite interesting how big cross training is in collegiate sports,
Yeah.
like Parker Valby kind of blew it up. I feel like she
Yeah.
had all these insane results, and she only ran 3 days a week, I think.
Yeah.
It was something crazy like that. And
Athlete, basically.
yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. And she did, the arc trainer, people do the bike and stuff. And it's crazy how much that works in college running, because I don't know that that necessarily works with how much like she did it for the marathon. I think you need more pounding, right? I think the marathon it's the great equalizer, right? You can't bike 400 miles a week and run 40 miles a week and expect to have a great
Right.
result, right? But I think
Yeah.
it works in college running.
Yeah, like I think it's like a good way to like get back any fitness you've lost. Like
Mhm.
especially for someone who like hasn't just run that much in a long time. It's a great like starting point. I agree with you. I think marathon it's very essential to just get that mileage in, but someone who's maybe struggled with injury or I actually know someone currently who's I guess he's currently a BYU athlete, but he also does marathons, and he does a ton of cross training. So there's definitely a place for it for those who prefer to do that or feel like they need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they train at like a pretty hard level at BYU for sure. We had Rory Linkletter on, and he was like, I wanted to train with like Connor and Clayton for a little bit, and like the like rate of perceived effort on workouts like he was hitting there are like much higher than like typical like midweek workouts he would normally hit. So they're going pretty hard. And Connors and Clayton are hurt right now. I think Connor had to pull out of World, and Clayton pulled out of Valencia. I think so. Yeah, so they go hard. I mean, obviously, like when they're fit, they're fit. But you know, there's risk reward there
Yeah,
for sure.
no, yeah, I actually trained with them this summer. When
Did
I
you
went
really?
back to the state. Yeah, so well, I didn't do it every day,
Yeah.
but so like I trained with them on their long run days, this summer. And even their long runs, I mean, it's like a pretty for them it's easy, but when I show up, I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna have to grind this out. But they'll do like a 25-mile run, but in that 25-mile run, they'll do like a 5K or so at race pace, basically, or half
Yeah.
marathon pace.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
No. Yeah. At altitude. Yeah. I've seen
At
the
altitude,
videos.
yeah.
Seen the videos of Connor running 4:35 to 4:45 pace at mile 22 of the long run. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. He's a different beast.
Are you at altitude where you're at right now in Japan?
No, no, I'm at 0 feet.
Is there
Right.
Yeah.
altitude you're in Tokyo, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of the guys like on the pro teams here, they'll go to a place called Nagano Prefecture.
Yeah.
It's where the mountains I think it's where most of the Olympic guys will go. And they typically go in like the summer or maybe before like some like races before they come down.
Mm.
A lot of guys also go to Europe, but I think Nagano is probably the most common training spot.
Yeah, I know. I've seen. I'm an avid watcher of Ran to Japan, so I've seen him
Yeah.
training up there before. So the
Yeah.
Nagano
Yeah.
Prefecture. Uh, Dude, so I was looking at your TFERS, which is like the results website for college, and then your BYU page before this. I saw one
Yeah.
result. You ran 3K for BYU. Is that your only race for BYU?
Yeah, that was my only race. Right
So
after that, I got injured. So, and
what was
after
the
that, I
injury?
never. So I had. Let's see, that was, if I'm correct, that was Achilles tendonitis.
Hmm.
That put me out a good 4 months. So
Oh wow! And then you just
yeah,
did you like leave the team at that point?
yeah. So before that even happened, I had like been dealing with injuries my entire life. Like, I mean, I didn't run my senior year in high school, and my freshman year, I didn't. My freshman year of college, I didn't really get to run much because of injuries. I think at that point, I was just so burnt out, and I was like, I'm done with this. Like, I don't want to do running anymore because this is what I'm gonna have to experience every year. It's just not for me. So I kind of just quit at that point. I'm being honest. I was like, I don't want to run anymore. Sorry. And I felt like I kind of let Coach Ison down a little bit because he gave me an opportunity, but
Yeah.
it was hard. It was really mentally hard at that time. So
Yeah. I can
did you
imagine.
stay did you stay at BYU and finish out like your college
yeah,
there?
yeah. So I stayed at BYU and I graduated in 2023. So
Oh, nice.
2 years ago.
Dude, I have so many questions.
Mhm.
One of which, so you go back to BYU, you're getting back in shape, right? And you're just chronically injured, right? That's like the story up to this point that we've told for you. And now, like jumping forward, you're at like 140 a week, right? A lot, quite a bit, correct?
Not a week, but yeah, that's like my peak mileage. Yeah.
Okay, but you're in the hundreds, right? And it's
Oh
a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
well into the hundreds. What changed? How are you able to hit that when you said you
Yeah.
like just been injured your whole life?
Yeah. So it's kind of been a long process. So like I started like seriously training again maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. Um,
Wow.
and I'm not gonna be I'll be honest, like getting to from where I was then to now has been a pretty brutal process. Like
Mhm.
I still have been injured many times
Yeah.
and
What's the
still have
timeline
had
there? Like from
yeah,
starting college to now?
so I quit running for like let's see, so from 2020, right where Corona happened, all the way up until 2023. So pretty much right to when I came to Japan. It's kind of when I started running again. In that time frame, I still was running, but it was like 6 miles 3 times a week.
Okay.
And I was like I was really into the gym at the time. So like I would go to the gym 4 times a week. So
Okay.
I'd work out every day, but it wasn't like I was training for anything. I was just I wanted to be healthy. Um and when I came to Japan, I had this goal of wanting to do an ultra marathon. Not to
Mm.
like run fast, just I'm like maybe if I just run distance, I can uh I won't get injured because I'm not doing anything fast. Like I was under the impression maybe my injuries were just a factor of the intensity, was the main issue. So like I trained for this ultra marathon in Shiga Prefecture,
Yeah.
and I didn't finish it. It was the most insane race I've ever done, probably.
Was
But
it a trail or a road
it
one?
was a trail race. It was an
Oh, cool.
insane trail race in the mountains. Um, that's also on my Strava if you ever want to see it. But it was like over 20,000 feet of elevation gain, and
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it was 100 miles. I only made it 60 before I dropped out, but I trained for that, and up until that point, I had gotten to like 80 miles.
Yeah.
So I was doing higher mileage, but I mean, it was slow. It wasn't fast. There were no
Yeah.
workouts.
Yeah.
And then after that race, I had a goal of training for another one because I failed it. I was like, I have to get back into
Right.
it. But as I was training for this trail, like my next trail race, I started to notice I was getting a lot faster just by getting consistent mileage. So, slowly I started having this itch to like start doing workouts again because like it'd be kind of fun to do something fast instead of just doing slow mileage.
Yeah.
So, I had trained I had continued training and started adding workouts into my weeks, like just one a week. Um, and I entered a 5K in April of 2024. And in that 5K, it was the first time I ran sub 15 in the 5K. So
Oh my gosh, dude. What? That's amazing.
yeah, yeah. So at that point, I think things started kind of to change for me. I'm like, maybe if I do like try to do high language, but just slowly add intensity, I could run a fast time. Now things got kind of ruined because I got injured. I was out for 3 months or so, just with tendonitis in my ankle
Wow.
for that whole summer. But I came back in August of 2024 and trained for my first marathon, the Nara Marathon. And
Are you a runner? Do you need running shoes, gear, apparel, more? If so, I got the scoop for you. Kencom's Running Store is the best place to buy any running supplies you need. Located in the St. Matthews area of Louisville, Kentucky, the friendly staff will take excellent care of you. If you are a newer runner and need help finding the right shoes, or you're looking to get plugged into the Louisville running community, this is where you need to start. If you don't live in Louisville, check out werunlou.com. We have a discount code and the link to the website in the show notes, and the shipping is free for purchases over $100. I promise you, Matt and team are the friendliest people you can meet. Don't hesitate. Get your running supplies at Kencom's Running Store and support an amazing local business.
and training for that marathon, I told myself I have to at least run 100 miles a week. If I can run 100 miles a week, um, and I can stay healthy, I'm gonna have a good race. I'm gonna be able to compete with the guys in the race. Now, I was able to get to 100 miles a week and train, but I'll be honest, that was probably the hardest build I've ever done because just getting up to that mileage and training hard, my body felt like shit pretty much every week. Like
Oh.
it was pretty bad, but yeah, from that point on, that's kind of how I kind of transitioned to where I am now. It's been a slow process, or I shouldn't say slow. I mean, it probably seems very fast, but um, I've just kind of set new goals and tried to adjust to whatever's happened along the way. So
But before I want to definitely dive into your marathon progression because it's been amazing, for sure. Um, how did you end up in Japan? So we go from
Yeah.
Northern Kentucky to
yeah,
Utah, totally normal, but then now you live in Japan. So what happened between Utah and Japan?
yeah. So when I was in Utah, I mean, during COVID, after I quit running, I like kind of had this almost like identity crisis in a way. Like, what do I do with my life?
Sure, yeah,
I have so much free time now.
yeah.
I tried a bunch of different things. I was like, I don't know, I just tried a bunch of different stuff that to get interested in something, but I got really interested in language learning, and I started learning Japanese. I could go into all the reasons why, but I just pretty much had an interest in the culture from before. And in my school, they have a pretty decent language program.
Mm.
And I don't really know why, but I just decided to study Japanese. And eventually I made it my major in
Really?
college.
Wow,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So during college, I was like, well, I didn't get to go to Japan because of Corona, just the visa restrictions. But I wanted to try to work in Japan, um, just because I felt like it'd be a waste not to with my
Yeah.
major. So I
Sure.
applied to the JET program. I don't know if you've heard of the JET program.
Mm.
Like 90% of people on the JET program are teachers, but I didn't want to be a teacher. I applied for what's this position called coordinator of international relations. And it's basically like you get sent to a office somewhere in Japan and you do whatever they really want. Um, they want you to do. So like I did a lot of international events and a lot of maybe it's like some translation stuff. Um, but yeah, I got hired by the JET program and I became a coordinator of international relations in Kobe, Japan.
Mm.
They sent me to the Hyogo prefectural office, and yeah, that's kind of how I got my start in Japan.
And are you still employed with that company, or what do you do now?
No, so I quit my job in March this year. and I moved to Tokyo. I went back to school actually.
That's
So yeah. So um, I'm currently studying videography actually in Tokyo.
cool.
Just because, yeah, because I kind of got tired of working for the government here. Um, but yeah, I figured Tokyo would be a lot better just because it has like more job opportunities once I finish my program here. And I still have a year and a half here, but it's kind of interesting. I'm not really sure what's going to happen depending on like if running continues to go well or it's kind of up in the air. But as of now, I'm doing school and then I train as much as I can when I'm not doing that. So
In videography, do you mean like creative world, like
yeah,
or cinema or
it's more of like film, like or commercial stuff, but like I've never really dabbled much in like to like you know, the social media space at all, but that obviously has a place now, in the world just with how everything is now. So maybe that's something I try to do in the future. But
Yeah, yeah. That's cool. I'm curious, is it like tough to stay in Japan as an American, like in terms of like renewing visas, stuff like that? I've heard it's pretty complicated. Is that true?
yeah, yeah, it can be tough. So yeah, it really depends on your job and like what you're doing. So, like it's really easy to get a student visa, which is what I have now. All you have to do is go to a school and pay the school. But like
Yeah.
to get a work visa, it can be a lot more challenging. Now my last job was pretty easy to get that
yeah.
just because the American consulate took care of all of those issues, but I have heard lots of stories.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Dude, I'm glad you're not going the route of there's a term for the Japanese businessmen that like get on the subways every
Salary,
day.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
salaryman, yeah.
salarymen.
No, I could not work for a Japanese like big corporation. The work life balance is pretty awful.
Yeah,
It's not like
What's the
now it is
stereotype?
improving. Stereotype is pretty much you work long hours, you don't really see your family at all. You prioritize your work over pretty much everything else. Um,
yeah.
it's
There's
just a
a
culture
horrible.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I
like a
think people are getting fed up with it, but it's been that way for a long time. So,
it's definitely like a cultural like. So I went to Tokyo last year around this time, first time
mhm.
ever, and actually saw Jake running in Yoyogi Park. I know you run there
Oh, okay.
some too.
Yeah.
I did some laps there. And we
Yeah.
stayed in Shinjuku, but
Hmm.
it was funny every time we get on the subway. The salarymen, like no matter what time of day, like we'd go early in the morning, the salarymen were getting there, and then like we'd be coming back 10 p.m. At night back to our hotel, and the salarymen are in their suits, like coming home from work. So they work long hours, man, for sure. It's pretty funny. But I do like on the subways there, no one says a word. It's completely silent. And that
It's
was kind of
kind of
nice.
crazy how quiet it can be,
Yeah. Yeah.
with just how many people are there. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
But
I'm assuming you're fluent in Japanese because it was your
yeah,
major.
I mean, I studied Japanese for a while, so I don't have any issues speaking. I do have good days and bad days. Sometimes it just
yeah.
doesn't come out right, but yeah.
Can you write it?
I can't write. I can read, but I can't write.
Yeah, the
It's
writing
a really
is
weird thing to
very,
describe people, but yeah, I can't write.
very
Interesting.
I feel like it's gotta be one of those things you gotta like start at birth and like just know,
Well, the way
very
they
intricate.
do it is they basically just write the kanji like hundreds and hundreds of times from like, elementary school to high school. That's how they
Yeah.
test it. So
Uh,
I'm not about that.
dude, what I
Yeah,
want
you
to
might
do
have
it.
free time, but not that type of free time.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw like Japanese people texting, and I'm just like, how do they like find the right like character to like send the text message to on their phones. I have no idea. It looks very complicated.
Yeah, yeah. It's not too bad, but
It's not.
I can understand the feeling. Yeah,
Yeah. But anyway, we'll get back into running. I'm just like so like
yeah.
interested in Japanese
Yeah, we
culture.
just went on like a whole travel agent like rant.
Just like
Yeah.
Japan was like it's so different than here, and like it's awesome. Like it's an amazing cultural experience for sure. But yeah, it's totally different vibe.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Jake. Like, I think so. I know Jake. I've known him for a while, and I think he does a good job of kind of portraying like how the running scene is here. So, because it is very different from kind of what goes on in like other countries, and I think that's kind of why his channel does so well. Is because not, I mean, there's no one who really kind of shows that. So,
Hmm.
Yeah, I was running with a friend this evening on my double, and he was telling me like he just likes how Jake has seemed to like he's like in Japanese culture now, like he gets it, and like people seem
yeah,
to like him. Like he has Japanese
Yeah.
viewers on his YouTube now. That seems like he's like showing Japanese culture like the right way, like as a
yeah, yeah,
foreign. I know some
yeah.
foreigners they are annoyed by. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think he does a good job.
but all right, let's dive into this marathon progression, man. I want to hear all about this. So, when was your first marathon, and what time did you run?
So my first marathon was the Provo Marathon in 2021. I just did it like to help my dad try to PR, like help him run sub 3.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't really train super hard, but I ran a 2:46.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
was in Provo, Utah.
This is in Provo, Utah. This is
Oh,
so I
Isn't
this
it?
was
Is that a
kind of
downhill race?
it is a downhill race.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought.
Now I don't there is some significant uphill in it as well, but it is an overall net downhill by a significant amount.
Oh,
Got
cool.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And then, so after that, this is before you moved to Japan or after you moved to Japan?
This is before.
Okay.
This is 3 years before my next marathon.
Oh, okay. And then, so your next marathon was in Japan?
Yeah. My next
Uh,
marathon was the Nara Marathon. Um which was yeah, pretty much a year ago. Um and now this course I ran a 2:20:50, but this course was insane. It was like 1,200 feet of elevation gain.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my gosh, you ran 2:20 there? That's crazy.
Yeah,
After
it
one
was
year
a
of running?
I in my training, I mean, you can see my training from
Yeah.
last year. I was pretty much on the hills every day.
Yeah.
Cuz Kobe is a pretty hilly city. It's like
Yeah.
right next to a mountain. So I knew the course was very tough, and I prepared for it. But yeah, that was the hardest block I think I've ever done for
I
training
mean,
wise.
just like getting back into things when you get back to Japan and you're like, your first race, there is like the ultra, it doesn't go how you want. And then you're like, oh, I'm actually like, my speed's coming back more than I realize. You hop in a hilly marathon, first marathon in a while, first really like serious marathon, quote unquote, and you run 2 hours, 20 minutes, which is like very fast. That's like about 5:20 per mile pace.
Yeah.
So at that point, do you like start realizing, wow, like I can actually be like pretty fast at the marathon? Because like that's a great time for at that point to
No,
train.
yeah,
It's
that was a defining moment for me because actually when I decided to train for Nara, I decided, if this does not go well, I don't think I'm gonna give running a serious shot anymore. Because
Huh.
up until then, I had the same story of just constant injuries, and I
Right.
was just like, I don't know if this is really worth it. Like my body always feels horrible. Like it's even though I complete the 100-mile weeks and stuff, it's like each week feels awful. I'm not running like most people would probably take off the days that I would run.
Yeah.
So like but when I ran Nara and ran a good time, I was like, maybe if I keep doing this, I have potential to be a lot better because I was scratching the surface really. I knew that I hadn't been training super long. I had been, dealing with injuries. So if I were to have a good block and eventually get to the mileage I want to, that I could do something really great.
Yeah. Yeah. So next race, I think what'd you run? 2:18, 2:17 at your next marathon?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that race was pretty disappointing because I had more injuries. I had Achilles tendonitis that put me out for a month. And then I also that race was I ran the whole thing by myself. So
Did you win?
I no, I
All
didn't
right.
fit.
Okay, cool.
Um so Japanese races are notorious for going out very hard and then everyone dies.
Yeah.
So if you ever do a race here, you'll understand. But they went out in 209 pace, and I knew I knew that they were going to do that because they had a pacer, and I decided I'm going to run my own race, and just wait for them to die, reel them in. But the problem was they didn't die till mile like 22, so
Yeah.
I was in no man's land pretty much the whole race, and it was a little bit windy, a little bit hot, so like it was just an awful race for me. But I
Yep.
still PR'd, so I was like, I guess just keep working for the next one.
And that one
Well,
was in Nagano, right? I'm on your Instagram. Was that in Nagano?
yeah,
So is it
yeah.
altitude?
It's at altitude, but it was like 1,000 something feet, so
Oh, okay.
not like very noticeable altitude.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, for sure. Man,
and
well,
it was not as hilly. So like Nara Marathon was like brutal, like feels like you're climbing a mountain, but Nara was just rolling hills. So
okay.
yeah.
So then that was the last race before Kobe Marathon was Nagano,
Yeah, last marathon, yeah.
last marathon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, and I know this from Jake's YouTube. Before you ran Kobe, where you had this amazing race, you also had a very good half marathon performance in like
Yeah.
brutal heat, it looked like. So maybe
Yeah.
like talk about like that race and like what'd you run? And then after that race, what did you feel like you could do in Kobe?
Yeah, so prior to the Tokyo Legacy half marathon that I did, I trained in Utah. I have family in Utah, and it was during the break um for my school, so I figured I'm just gonna I didn't see my family in a long time, and I wanted to go back. And it also gave me a chance to train at altitude, so and escape the Japanese heat. Japanese heat in the summer is literally awful.
Yeah.
I like anyone who came to World Championships understands, but it is next level awful. Um, so I got a good training block in Utah, and then coming back, and prior to the Tokyo Legacy half, I knew I was pretty fit, and I thought I was capable of running in the 63s just based off my training. And yeah, the race wasn't like super cool. Like the weather wasn't amazing, but it was I kind of did everything right that I needed to, and things went well for me. So after that race, yeah, I knew I was in very good shape and knew going into Kobe like I could destroy my PR
Yeah.
in the marathon.
What do you think training in Utah was like what like unlocked this like next level or did you like change anything in training like up the mileage a lot? Was there anything that you think like made you drop your time from like that's a huge jump. Like
Yeah,
dropping 7 minutes from like, 3 hours to 2:53, like that's one thing, right? But 2:18 to 2:11, where there's like
yeah,
much more it's like those percentages get like a lot like smaller, I guess, to
Yeah.
improve. So like, was there any like major things that you can think of you changed or anything between those?
Well, the biggest thing was I had probably the best training block with no injuries. So
Mm.
I started in July, and from July till November, I had no injuries. So that was the first block I'd ever had that. So that was a massive one, just being consistent. Um, and also, I would say training in Utah did help a lot because um, it was the first time I was able to train with other people. So like training with the Utah guys, I trained with of course like Clayton and Connor on the weekends for their long runs, but I also trained with Michael Otteson, Adam Wood on
We love
like
them.
Both
yeah,
friends of the
they're
pod.
awesome.
Friends of the
Yeah, they're
pod.
awesome. Um I trained with them on weekdays. So it was always nice to have people to train with me because on the days I fell off, like they would help me get through a tough workout. So,
Yeah, for sure.
and then of course being at altitude helps. Coming back to Japan where it's like zero, there's no elevation. It feels pretty nice.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
um, I think it was just a combination of a lot of things. I think I raced in the Pumas. I think the Puma shoes were much better than the Alpha Flies. I think that had a
Hmm.
difference. I
Really
think,
interesting. Huh.
yeah, I think
Hmm.
my nutrition was a lot better for the marathon and half marathon. In the past, I would take these goo packets, and they're very thick, like the goo. I don't know if you heard of the
You
goo brand.
you
GU.
a used goo GU?
For the Nara and Nagano marathon, I use goo,
Oh wow.
and terrible.
Yeah.
Even more impressive streak that he ran 2:20 and 2:18.
Yeah, with goo, dude. Yeah, not many
Yeah,
people use goo anymore. They say it's pretty hard on the
it's
stomach. So
it's very thick and it makes you super dehydrated.
yeah,
So I switched to different gels, and I think that made a big difference. I think there's a lot of things I did that really helped
sure,
um,
nice,
going
dude.
forward.
So Kobe Marathon 2:11:23. You got second place, correct, at Kobe.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe like walk us through like the race. Like, what were you like trying to go out in? Did you know you could win the race? What was like the plan? I guess before the race.
yeah. So my goal for the race was to win, and I thought going into the race I'd have to be in 210 shape to do it. Um, and I thought with my half marathon, considering the heat, that is definitely possible. Considering it would be a cooler day. Now, the only issue that I ran into, which was a pretty significant one, was they didn't let me start in the elite block. They made me start in the S block. This has happened multiple times for me, which has been frustrating. But um, so because of that, I was way back. Like I started 7, 8 seconds back.
Ugh,
So I knew the first mile would be very hard. And
yeah.
if you look at my Strava, I mean, you can see just the first mile was like 440s, low 440s. But
Wow.
I knew that would happen because if I lost that lead pack, I would have I would experience the same thing I had in Nagano, just losing the group and running solo for the rest of the race. I knew that that couldn't happen. So
Dude, let
first,
me let dude. So on your Instagram, there's a video of you running in the lead pack with five African guys.
yeah,
One of one of the hardest videos I've maybe ever seen running of you just like mixing it up with these African guys at the front of a marathon, bro.
yeah.
That is pretty tough. That is pretty tough for sure. That is
Yeah.
awesome.
I will say three of those guys are pacers, so
Oh,
maybe it
okay.
makes it look cooler.
It's
But
just sick
yeah,
though. Like you're in the middle of this pack. It's so cool.
yeah. Well, yeah, I know a lot of people, even the announcers in that race, because I made a video for just people of me just talking about the race.
Mm.
But the Japanese commentators also had no idea who I was because
Huh.
I was in a general classification bib and I didn't get into the elite field. I'm just like,
That's so
They kept.
funny.
They're like, "Who is this guy? Like, he's still here with the Kenyans?" They're just like,
Did they think you were like an influencer trying to win the first mile or something?
well, the first like 10K, they're like, "We have a general classification runner who's still hanging on," and one of the other announcers like, "He's really pushing himself." I think they had no faith in me at that point in the race.
And then 20 miles in, they're like, okay, I don't think he's joking around anymore.
Yeah. No, exactly. So,
You were
yeah,
pretty
going
close
through the
to winning the
race.
race, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought half marathon in, I thought I was going to win. Like I felt very good. Legs still felt good. Um, and I thought I had a chance, but around the 28K mark, I got some serious cramping in my legs, and it was really bad for a couple miles. I had to
Mm.
slow down a bit just for the legs to like, not like get any worse. But
Yeah.
I just focused on feeding or like taking gels and drinking at the aid stations, and it eventually got a little bit better. But I couldn't hang, to be honest. I was pretty dead.
Yeah. What was the halfway split?
Correct. It was like 103:30 something.
You went through in 103. Holy crap. That was
No,
like
I went
close to your
through.
that's close to your half time, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I went through 103:30.
Dude,
That's
207 pace.
107 pace or 207 pace, brother.
Yeah,
That's
That
wild
is
behavior.
awesome. That is awesome. Dude,
yeah.
well,
Well, yeah. I know it would have ended up a lot better had I not gone out that hard. But
dude, you could have broken 210. That's crazy. Like
yeah,
maybe. I don't know.
maybe. Well, yeah. I don't know. Um,
Like yeah.
but
That's I mean, you got to be excited now about like well what can happen now, cuz the
yeah,
progression's
of
been
course,
insane. Like where's your head cuz you're going to run the Olympic trials, I'm sure, right? For the US.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So like where's your head at for like the next year or two? Like are you thinking sub 210? Are you thinking pro contract? Are you thinking try to make the team?
Yeah.
Like where's your head at?
I definitely want to. Of course, I want to run sub 210. I think I was capable had I had like the best race possible, better splits in Kobe. But I think for Osaka, um, my next race is Osaka Marathon in February, and I'm really just focusing on that. Like, obviously, I have like goals to maybe go pro if that goes well. But really, it's just focusing on that race and just trying to get a new personal best, trying to you know focus on the things I can do to improve for that race specifically.
What do you have any interest in joining a Japanese corporate team or would you just want to do a shoe contract?
Um, my so I would like to join a Japanese team because I don't like training by myself. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It's pretty terrible. But uh, it's yeah, it's a little bit challenging. Just with I don't know if there's like limitations on how many foreigners can be on the team because they generally focus on the Ekiden, which is run at the end of the year, kind of
Yeah.
by New Year's. And generally, they only have one foreigner in the Ekiden. So,
Mm.
um, and those runners are generally like super fast, like Kenyan guys or Ethiopian dudes. So I'm not sure. There's a possibility, but
Yeah.
I still haven't talked to any teams at the moment. So
Yeah. Dude, well, I'm excited for you. The marathon progression over the last like year and change has been unbelievable. So yeah, this
yeah,
is a really cool story, and I hope people listening like there's no like news articles or anything about like your story, but I think there probably should be because like what you did in Kobe is like insane. I mean, not many
yes,
American guys run 211, like not many.
yeah,
So
Well,
it's
the
like
ones that do it with 10 years of consistency, you know?
yeah, yeah, like long,
yeah,
yeah, or like we're 13, 30 guys in college. So this is like your
yeah.
super unique story for sure.
Yeah, I'm hoping. My biggest thing is I'm really hoping just to, be healthy because I think that's been the biggest factor in just why I did well this build because when you're consistent, don't miss weeks, you're bound to get better. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll see what happens this build. So
Dude, well, let's definitely get you back on after Osaka. I
yeah,
would love to hear that how that goes, especially if you break 210. I think there's gonna be a lot more eyes on you for sure if you break
If he
210,
breaks
dude.
210, where did that put him on the Life and Stride ranking chart of marathoners? Does that put him second?
Might be second behind Rory. Yeah. Might
oh
be
dang,
second behind Rory for our for guests. So yeah, it's pretty
yeah,
sick.
of course.
Dude, I would love that. But Scotty, anything else for Ethan before we let him go about it? It's 11 a.m. in Japan, so he's got a full day ahead of him.
Yeah, it's 9 p.m. here. We're about to go to bed.
uh
How's the future? I love asking that question. Anything happen I need to know about?
Not too much. I mean, I know for in terms of running, I know a lot of people are running like this weekend with like Valencia and CIA.
yeah.
I'm just chilling. So.
Yeah,
I look forward to watching all the people running.
Yeah, dude, that'll be a great race.
yeah. Last
Yeah.
Ethan, my last question. What is your favorite thing about living in Japan? Like maybe not running related. Is there anything like culturally or like the food, anything like that that you really enjoy in Japan?
Yeah. I mean, I do love the food personally. I love all the food. I like udon, karaage, ramen, natto. I love it all. So I enjoy
You
everything.
like the natto, dude? Oh gosh.
I eat it for breakfast every day.
No, you don't. Oh my
I
gosh.
do.
What is it? What Striegel, why are you turning your nose about it? What is it?
It's the fermented beans, bro. It's like, have you seen a Ranted Jake Bearclaw video? It's like fermented beans. They got like a stink to them for sure.
I like
But
it. It
Fermented stuff,
smells.
so I probably like that.
It smells not as great, but it is good. I like it.
Dude,
I,
fermented stuff is great for your gut, Striegel.
yeah,
it is great for your gut as well.
I didn't
Oh, you
try
didn't
it
try it?
there. No, I didn't try it.
Oh, okay.
I will say I did have some mochi with the bean paste in it, and I was very disappointed in that. So I definitely preferred the chocolate and pistachio type stuff, or the
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah,
Don't knock it
interesting food.
until you try it, Streak.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. There's a lot of
We'll
food
go for
there that I love, a lot that I'm not willing to try. So it is what it is.
You just gotta try some of the. My parents are the same way, so they don't really like Japanese food that much. I take them to things that are similar to like American style options. So.
Fair, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But all right, episode 212, Ethan Shuley. Keep this name in your memory, people. I think people might be talking about him in the preview for the trials in a 2028. So I'm
Yeah, we'll
not
see.
joking. So yeah,
Heck
keep
yeah,
an eye
dude.
out.
I'm rooting for you.
Ethan Shuley, February Osaka Marathon. But all right, I'll put your Instagram in the show notes too, so people can follow
Oh,
what's going on with you too. So, but all right, 212, Ethan, thanks for coming on, man.
yeah, thank you.
Peace.